So last night, the Miami Heat were without 5 key rotation players, yet still knocked off the West's then 5th-seeded Sacramento Kings. The Miami Heat have now won 8 of their last 10 games, and with Jimmy Butler missing 4 of the Heat's last 5 games, today I want to look at the Heat and see if they're getting hot at just the right time. If you guys enjoyed the video, then make sure to give it a like, and if you're new to the channel, then make sure to hit that subscribe button. So the Miami Heat defeated the Sacramento Kings by double digits last night as they won by a score of 121-110. The Miami Heat have now won 4 straight games, and 3 of those games were against teams currently holding top 6 seeds as they knocked off the Bucks, Sixers, and Pelicans. And their win last night knocked the Sacramento Kings back into the play-in tournament. The Heat being slept on and then turning it on seemingly out of nowhere isn't necessarily a new thing, as the Miami Heat are in both 1st and 4th place for the lowest seeds to reach the NBA Finals, as in 2020 they reached the NBA Finals as a 5th seed, and last season they reached the NBA Finals as an 8th seed. So this Miami Heat core know a thing or two about coasting and then really turning things on when you have to. Now overall for this season, the Miami Heat have really struggled offensively, coming in with the 9th worst offensive rating for the entirety of this season. However, they have the 7th best defensive rating for the entirety of this season, as well as the 16th ranked net rating. So they've been really below average for the entire season and just barely efficient. In the month of February though, things have been a different story. As well, they're still struggling offensively, moving up from the 8th worst offense to the 12th worst offense. Their defense has just taken an even bigger step, moving up from having the 7th best defensive rating to the 2nd best in the entire NBA. This, of course, has only been a 9-game stretch for them, so one has to wonder if they'll fall back down to earth at a point, but I do think having the 4th best net rating in the league while struggling so much offensively says a lot about that quote-unquote Heat culture and their ability to give teams problems come playoff time. I will say that many of the teams they played did have starters missing over this stretch, including the Sixers missing Embiid, the Pelicans missing Ingram, and the Bucks missing Middleton. However, the Heat didn't have Butler in any of those 3 games aside from their win over the Pelicans, and also getting a double-digit win over the Kings without 5 of their key rotation guys is just another win that deserves praise in my eyes, even if the Kings were without a few players themselves. Now, while he has played only 5 games for the Heat this month, many people may point to Rozier as being a big reason as to why the Heat are starting to get things going, and while I do think he has a chance to shine for the Heat, the Miami Heat have been more efficient when Rozier has been off of the court for them in the games that he's played with the team. However, there is a guard that the Heat recently acquired that might be able to make a big difference for the team, and that's Delon Wright. Despite only making his debut last night, Delon fit in very well. Wright looked sharp defensively as his first points as a member of the Heat came off of a steal and run out in transition, and his off-ball defense was just very solid overall last night. Right here, I think his ability to defend around the screen was great, and him and Haywood Highsmith worked together to turn an open Malik Monk shot into a pass back outside the arc. Wright and Highsmith both played great defensively here, and the active hands from Wright will be huge for the Heat going forward if he keeps this up. Lastly on Wright, I want to talk about his ability to attack closeouts when the team gets healthy, because I think that will only make the Heat even scarier as he was able to force the Kings into a lot of weird rotations and draw doubles that opened up his teammates when Wright attacked closeouts last night, and it led to wide open buckets for his teammates. While he did not play for the Heat last night, one other guy who will be a key for the Heat going forward is Nikola Jokic. This season, the Miami Heat have an impressive plus 11.25 net rating with Jokic on the court versus a negative 10.5 rating when Jokic is off the court. The Miami Heat are 4-2 in games where Jokic plays 24 or more minutes. The only issue is that Jimmy Butler did not play in any of those 6 games. I'm not sure how much of an issue that'll be when Butler returns though, as Butler and Jokic have a plus 11.34 rating when sharing the court together. Jokic and Bam Adebayo have an even better rating, coming in with a plus 13.91 rating when sharing the court together. Then, if we look at how the Heat look when all 3 of those guys play together, it is a plus 19 rating in their 79 minutes played together. They definitely need to get and stay healthy together to get that playing time up before the playoffs begin. However, I do think 79 minutes together is a decent enough time to show that they will be, at the very minimum, an efficient trio when sharing the court. Now, all the time that Jokic has spent on the court with Butler and Bam has come when Tyler Hero is on the court also. Sounds good, right? Well, the only issue is 28 of those 79 minutes came with former member of the Heat Kyle Lowry out there with them, so we have no real clue how they'll look together. But they did still play efficient with Caleb Martin out there with them, as in the other 43 minutes that group spent on the court together, Martin played in 41 of those minutes. RJ Hampton played in the rest. So with the great play of DeLon Wright last night and the addition of Rozier at the deadline, the Miami Heat will have a decision to make on who will be in their starting lineup and their rotations going forward. And while I believe Wright would be a much better option for defensive purposes, I'm not sure having Rozier out there will hurt them too much, as his offense might make up for it. And Bam Adebayo has been absolutely holding things down for them defensively this season. This season, Bam is averaging 1.1 steals and 1 block per game, the first time that Bam's averaged over 1 block a game since 2021. Bam's also been on an absolute another level over the Heat's last 5 games, averaging 1.8 steals per game, 1.2 blocks per game, and leading the Heat in totals, blocks, and steals as well. With that said, while the Miami Heat might not be the favorites to win the East, they are heating up at just the right time, and they have a ton of great young players, some of which I didn't even get the chance to talk about in this video, who seem to be fitting in just fine and getting ready to make a playoff run. They got a lot of things working in their favor, and with a few key matchups against the Nuggets, Mavs, and Thunder over the course of the next 10 days, we'll see just how legit Heat culture really is. After Jimmy Butler sent a message and said it's that time following their game on Friday night, we'll see if they come to play over the course of the next 10 days and eventually come playoff time. Anyway though, let me know in the comments what you think about the Miami Heat, any of their players, or anything relating to the topics we talked about today down below. Of course, if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I am out. Peace.